Hey YouTube, Kira Qualia here, bringing you all my Cardfight Vanguard Triumph Dragon deck profile for post-Illusionless Strife. We got some new support for the start decks from the start of the Cardfight Vanguard Divine series, sort of meant to introduce the Energy Blast mechanic to the game, and with it they are continuing to support them, which I at least like to see, with the added support giving us more of a recycle playstyle, which the main focus of the start decks are the Persona rides, so having cards that can help us, recycle our grade 3 is a big help to the deck altogether. And as I said, I've changed around some of the numbers for the Triumph deck since the last update, so let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So to start off with our ride deck, we still have the Energy Generator, with our starter being Heated Blade, a Dart. When wrote upon, if you went second, draw a card. Our grade 1 is Roaring Flame Beast, Calior. When wrote upon by Roaring Thunder Beast, Keaton Rons, you can Energy Blast 2 and draw a card. So just more draw power with the grade 2. Being our Roaring Thunder Beast, Keaton Rons. When wrote upon by a grade 3 with Triumph Dragon and its card name, you may call this card to rear guard. If you did not, call a card, Energy Charge 3. So a lot of the times I'm going for the Energy Charge 3 just so I have more abilities to use, whether it be with our grade 3 Vanguard, than to actually call this card out. It's just a 10k additional plus shield on the guard circle, so a pretty good interceptor. But if you need that energy for all your other plays, that's where it stands to leave it in the soul, with our main grade 3 being Roaring Thunder Dragon, Triumph Dragon, along with the copy that we run in the ride deck. We also run 3 copies in the main deck as well. For the Vanguard circle, once per turn, you can counterblast 1, search your deck for up to 1 card with the same card name as this unit, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck, and this unit gets plus 10,000 till the end of turn. And on Vanguard, when it attacks, you can Energy Blast 4, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, retire it, and this unit gets plus 5 in critical, plus 1 until the end of that battle. Added pressure, along with taking out one of your opponent's rear guards, can hit for some pretty big numbers. You have the plus 10 with its search ability, the potential plus 10 when you Persona ride. And as I said, we are running our new grade 1 to help recycle, which we'll get to in a bit when we go over the grade 1 units. For our other grade 3s that we run, 4 copies of Strife Command Dragon when placed on rear guard from the hand. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Triumph Dragon and its card name, counterblast 1 and draw a card. More additional draw power when this card is just placed on rear guard from hand. And when it attacks, you can Soul Blast 1 until the end of the battle, gets plus 5. If a grade 3 or greater with Triumph Dragon and its card name with Soul Blast for this cost, you also get critical plus 1, making it that much harder of a rear guard to block against your opponent. But a definite 4 of, so you always have this preferred rear guard to be able to call out as well. Making more use of the Energy Blasts, we run 4 copies of Drag Gritter Fallheart. When put on guard circle from hand or discarded from hand while riding from the ride deck, you can counterblast 1 or Energy Blast 3 and draw a card. So, you can always save your Energy Blasts for your other units and just get the counterblast for this card in the same way it's placed on rear guard if you Persona Road this turn to either counterblast 1 or Energy Blast 3 and choose a grade 1 card without Sentinel from its drop zone and call it to the back row rear guard, giving you more setup for some of our grade 1s as well, so we can help to call out our Battle Monk of Thunderclap Zenshin for added support from the drop zone. For the other grade 2s, 4 copies of Blast Artillery Dragon Brachio Force. On rear guard, when this unit attack hits, retire this unit, draw a card, choose one of your opponent's rear guards, and retire it. Just added retire power since that is a big part of the deck. Triumph Dragon always retires a card when you attack with it, so you have the same playstyle with Brachio Force. When the attack hits, retiring the Brachio Force for you to be able just to take out another opponent's rear guard and making up for the unit that you got rid of with a draw 1. And then for the other grade 2s, 3 copies of Crushing Dragon, Spinal Assaulter. On rear guard once per turn, when your opponent's rear guard is retired by the ability of your grade 3 or greater Vanguard, it gets plus 10,000 to end of turn. So you're always going to have that guaranteed retire power. So you always have the additional plus 10 that your Spinal Assaulter will get. And also pretty much a guarantee that you'll be Persona riding. So you'll have the 30,000 power on its own Spinal Assaulter to be able to attack into your opponent with also. And lastly, for the grade 2s, 3 copies of the Great Flame Axe Ambitious Scales Kogaflab. When discarded from hand during your ride phase, you Soul Blast 1, put it on the bottom of the deck, and draw a card. So either this or your Fall Heart should always be the discarded cost for your ride deck, so you always have a draw to make up for it. And when it's placed on rear guard, if you Persona Road this turn, Counterblast 1, retire all your opponent's rear guards in the same column as this unit. More retire power on top of the use of your Persona Ride, so just another Counterblast to be able to clear out other rear guards that your opponent may have. For the grade 1s, the new grade 1 that we are running is the Battle Monk of Thunderclap's Zenshin. On the rear guard at the end of the battle, this unit boosted. If you have a grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Triumph Dragon and its card name, retire this unit, and put a grade 3 or greater card with Triumph Dragon and its card name from your soul or drop on the bottom of the deck. Choose one of your opponent's rear guards, retire it. If you did not retire a card, draw a card. So you're taking out an opponent's rear guard, but the big play is the recycle power that you do with your Triumph Dragon. So you always should, with this card, being basically a free cost just in the form of retiring this unit, and then putting a Triumph Dragon for you. So that turn, you will have the Counterblast 1 to search out a Triumph Dragon to be ready for the next turn Persona Ride, but then you should have one placed back thanks to this card to then on the following turn after you Persona Ride, be able to search out another copy. And also the 2 copies of Drag Ritter Yumna. When this unit boosts, if your opponent has 2 or less rear guards, Counterblast 1 and Energy Blast 2 to draw a card, and this unit gets plus 5,000 till the end of that battle. More Energy Blast use, but still draw power. It's very easy to have a very strong hand with this deck, which is what I also like with the setup that we can do with our many different units. But we have the Zenshin now, so just the 2 copies of this card, and still the 2 copies of Red Jeweled Beast Galnet to make use of our ride deck for additional draw power or 15k shield when we place it on the guard circle or on the rear guard circle. And also 1 copy of Stealth Dragon Kunin Musube. So we have a discard option for the grade 1s in our deck to be able to at least call this card to rear guard, and then the following turn when we restand, have it be a pretty prominent booster also. With the last of our grade 1s being the 4 copies of Guardian Monk of Raging Flames Monju. Just the Sentinel of choice. If you wanted to run Elementary Sanctitude, you could just drop 1 copy of this card for a copy of Elementary Sanctitude for that last spot as well. I thought about running the new Regalis piece where you put into soul, draw 2, or, put it into the soul for that option, but decided against it because I just wanted to go for more of the focus on the Persona Ride power in the deck. But if you wanted to try running it, you could take out the 1 Kuden Musubi for that last spot. With our trigger lineup being the 8 critical, so 4 copies of Rogue Beast Sumen Suguri, the 4 copies of Light Elemental Pachiri, and then also the 3 draw trigger for Flare Veil Dragon. If you wanted to run 7 critical, you could always bump up your copies of Flare Veil. Also, with our heals being the Refreshing Wind Dino Breeze, and our over trigger being the Drag Veda, just for the added pressure of being able to restand our Vanguard for another additional attack. And then also, if you have the Energy Blast, you could reuse the Triumph Dragon again even after the restand, since it's not a once per turn on the when it attacks a Vanguard for the Energy Blast 4 ability. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'll slowly update the other start decks as well. It's a pretty similar premise with the majority of them replacing some of the cards for the new grade 1 we received in the Illusionless Strife booster set. But as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Qualia out.